Today I'm going on a journey across the eastern United States on Amtrak's Capital Limited. We'll cross 6 states during the peak of foliage season and go from Chicago all the way to Washington, D.C. Our ride covers 780 miles, crosses 6 states, and will take just under 18 hours. From Chicago, we scoot through Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio by night before reaching Pittsburgh in the early hours of the morning. Daylight finally greets us just past Connellsville, and we run alongside the Allegheny and Castleman rivers before summiting the Allegheny Mountains at Sand Patch, 2,258 feet above sea level. We head down the mountains into Cumberland before leaving Maryland for West Virginia, the Potomac River, and Harpers Ferry. Then it's back into Maryland for the stretch run to Washington, D.C. Chicago is definitely one of my favorite cities to visit. Such a cool place, lots of great food, which of course includes some deep dish pizza. I stopped at Giordano's. Let me know in the comments where the best place is to get a deep dish pizza here. When I visited, Union Station was under some major construction on the outside, which is a shame because it's one of the most beautiful passenger stations in the country. The inside of the station is just a masterpiece. Really makes you feel like you're arriving somewhere when you get off a train here. The columns, the architecture, the lighting, everything, just one of my favorite places to be. Just look at it. I had a little bit of extra time to kill, so I stopped at Amtrak's Metropolitan Lounge, which is open to all sleeping car passengers or Amtrak Guest Rewards Select Plus and Select Executive members. This 2-story lounge is a really comfortable place to wait for your train to depart. They offer you some complimentary snacks, complimentary light beverages, and if you want anything with a little bit of alcohol, there's a bar. Just make sure you finish it before running out. There are also some old photos, some paintings scattered around the walls, and overall it's a really pleasant way to spend some time before you leave. I really wanted to take this train for a couple of reasons. Number one, to see the foliage. We were right near the peak of foliage season in the Maryland and Pennsylvania area. I also wanted to get some great video out of the back of the train from the coach car. And number 3 was to take this route one more time before it morphs into the Floridian, which will give passengers one-seat ride from Chicago to Miami. They'll be swapping out the double-decker superliners in favor of single-level coaches and sleepers. Not really as much fun. Like I said, one of the reasons I wanted to take this was to put my GoPro on the back window and record all this fall foliage, but as luck would have it, my coach car was not in the rear of the train, and instead they had coupled on this transition sleeper, which I'm pretty sure I had no access to, but oh well.
Pittsburgh, all the way to DC. Seat number 17. All right, thank you.
My bad luck kind of continued right there. Seat 17 is on the left side of the train, and most of the great views in the morning are on the right side, so kind of a bad draw on that one. But once you got to Cumberland, the views kind of leveled out. and this is my home for the next 18 hours. The seats in coach are super comfy, and they have a lot of legroom, which for a 6'3" guy like me is just incredible. There also is a fold-out table so I could get work done on the way, always a plus. Before I knew it, 6:40 came around and we had an on-time departure. Good start as we're off to Washington.
Usually have 2 lower levels, 1 in each car, but
Now, there's not much to look at this part of the trip, but the Chicago skyline is nice. Anytime during the summer you take this, you'll at least leave during daylight and can see a little bit of Lake Michigan. After we left Elkhart, Indiana, I decided it was time to get a snack before going to bed. So off to the cafe car I went, and there was just no question as to what I was going to order. Always have to go with the grilled cheese. Always a solid choice. Right after we left Toledo, I decided to go to bed for a little bit. I wanted to at least get a few hours of sleep before we got to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, by far, is one of my favorite cities to roll into on the train. Just look at this view. Is this the best city view you get on Amtrak? Let me know in the comments. Woke up a few hours later just outside of Connellsville, Pennsylvania. This is where the views start to get really good, especially if you take the train in the summer. Back to the cafe car I went, and those of you who know me know an overnight Amtrak trip just is not complete without a little Amtrak mimosa. It's my absolute favorite thing to sip on as I sit back and watch the world go by. For most of the morning, we were paralleling the Allegheny River, probably butchered that pronunciation, but no chance I'll ever learn how to spell it, that's for sure. Coincidentally, once we reach the town of Confluence, we trade the Allegheny River for the Castleman River. Here's the summit of the mountains. We're in a place called Sand Patch in Pennsylvania, and we crossed the mountains at 2,258 feet in elevation. After going around this big horseshoe curve in a town called Mance, we start to follow Wills Creek, which gives us a couple of really breathtaking views. We'll follow Wills Creek all the way into Cumberland.
Our next station stop will be Cumberland, Maryland.
Cumberland is around where Wills Creek empties into the Potomac River. So we're pretty much following the Potomac River from here all the way to a town called Dickerson in Maryland, just past Harpers Ferry.
Arriving in Martinsburg, please use handrails, watch your step when exiting. This is Martinsburg Station coming right up.
Also, passengers, there are no more smoke stops on the ride.
In my opinion, this view in Harpers Ferry is one of the highlights of this trip. What a beautiful place.
from track 23 off of train 30 to help me with those passengers you called for, over.
And just like that, our 780-mile quest across the eastern half of the country is over. Part of me is sad because this could be the last time I ever take the Capital Limited as I know it, as in November 2024 this route will turn into the Floridian. Pretty soon, seeing superliners at Washington Union Station will be a thing of the past, as essentially what Amtrak is doing is taking the train on the left and replacing it with the train that's sitting here on the right. Washington Union Station is another gem for Amtrak. I don't think I like it more than Union Station in Chicago, but there's still a lot of charm in this old building. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on board the next journey. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.